Good evening, everyone. Welcome along. Just got home from the game and I'm pretty gutted. I'm not gonna lie. That was so stressful. That probably felt more stressful than that game at Wembley for me. I literally thought that we had every chance in that game of hanging in there, getting a win, probably pushing for a draw for sure. And I was just so angry when that full time whistle went, and obviously when Fulham scored, it was absolutely gutting, and I'm sure everyone else is feeling exactly the same. It was entertaining for sure, edge of your seat sort of stuff as a Saints fan, uh, but so stressful and painful to watch. And I've said it before, but I really, really, really felt like them subs ruined it again for us, unfortunately. I don't want to particularly call out any one player, but there wasn't as much pressing or tackling or getting back, you know, for your team. And ultimately, I do think that the subs cost us again. And I know we're not, we haven't got the strongest bench out there, but when you've got people like Tyler Dibling coming on, Cameron Archer, uh, you expect them to get stuck in, and Cam Archer did run around a little bit at one point, and then fell over. Obviously he was trying, but nobody else was there with him. They had nothing to lose in them final minutes, nothing to lose, and that team should have been up and get against it. I would have rather seen Fulham score another goal than not try. Um, yeah, and I tell you what, when when we were getting towards the end of the match, and I thought to myself, look, what is the added time going to be? And I thought it can't be more than 3 minutes. It can't be. And part of me just said, no, somebody out there has just doesn't want us to succeed. They want us to be the humiliated laughing stock of the league, and we're not far off that anyway. But this record just will not go away. And 6 minutes added time, I just couldn't believe it because Saints were not time wasting. I don't think Fulham particularly were. Um, Fulham were dirty. Fulham were dirty for sure. Um, you know, pushing, pulling. Saints, if they even blew on Fulham, the ref would blow a foul. And there were times when the linesman missed things, the ref missed things. Shocking officiating. And so yeah, obviously when 6 minutes came on, that that for me was the end of it. I just sensed that we were going to lose it, unfortunately, and I think everybody else did. And I'm really surprised that we couldn't hang in there. Um, However, I've looked over onto the stats now, and let's just go through them quick. Fulham had 65% possession, and it felt like they had a lot of that ball. But my God, that is a lot. Um, when you're playing at home. And I'll tell you what, the next biggest thing was they had 26 shots against our 7. So we only had 7 shots in that entire game, and they had 26. I don't think that was an onslaught, in my opinion. Or them just having pot shot. Some of them were close, some of them weren't. They only had 5 on target, and obviously 2 of them are goals. 16 off target, 5 blocked. Their passing completion rate was 88%. Ours was 77. But you know, but they were pressuring our guys. So yeah, we did give it away a few times. By the way, I haven't seen the goals back. So I'm going to save that until after I've edited my vlog for today. I don't want to see the game. I don't want to be put off by it. I just want to get on, edit my video, and get it out. So yeah, 13 corners for Fulham. 13. That is mental. And their set pieces, you could see that they'd put a lot of work and effort into their set pieces. And that's probably, they knew that we weren't very good at them. And I'd imagine they were wanting to capitalize on that. Tackles, nearly 60% tackles for them, only 45% for us. And they were winning the aerial duels. Obviously, we missed Paul Anachu. Thought Stewart did an outstanding job today, by the way. I was very impressed with what he did today. Considering we haven't seen that much of him, I was very impressed with him. And Matty Fernandez was getting hacked all over the park. He did a great job. Ukachukwu did a great job. In fact, I generally think the whole team did a brilliant job. And I really wish we didn't have to make them subs when we did. I mean, I saw Leslie was dead on his feet at the end. He looked done in. Did we really need to take off Matty Fernandez though? I just don't think we needed to necessarily make them subs. 12 fouls committed by Fulham, and I'm telling you, there were way more than that. And 10 by Saints, and yeah, only 2 yellow cards for that entire match. So yeah, I really thought that we could have had something against Fulham today. Unfortunately, it wasn't the case. The stats don't lie. Stevens, congratulations on a goal. I think since he's come back into the team, he's been generally very good. Fulham, Sessegnon, 92 minutes. Smith Rowe, 72. Yeah, that game was just going downhill for us. As soon as we started making them subs, and it's 72nd minute. I don't know when we made our first sub. I could probably scan through some text, but I'm not doing that. So yeah, we are obviously still bottom of the table. That wasn't going to change today. Nothing's changing with that. But I really, really hope that we can move away from that one thing, which is Derby's record. We tallied with them. All we wanted was 1 point. Anyways, that's come to the end. I'm going to crack on. I'm going to edit my vlog. It's going to be a bit more shorter and simpler today, just because I've kind of felt that we're getting towards the end of the season, and whilst I want to provide great content for you, at times, like, we just got to get on and try and enjoy the day for what it is. And as much as I do, I don't want to put out a huge one today. So yeah, the next game I'll do something a bit more in depth. But for now, we're just going to have a shortish one, and you'll see all the key points, and you'll see that I was pretty upset and angry when they scored in overtime. And I don't really like to react like that, but I was so angry, and as I'm sure everybody was. So let me know in the comments if you think that I'm, if I'm out of order for saying about the subs. I know everybody loves Dibbling. I know everybody, likes Archer and things like that. And I've got nothing against these players, but we really needed strength and people getting stuck in, and that did stop for a couple, 2 or 3 players in that later on. And we just needed to launch everything at Fulham because it was working. We were doing a great job, and such a shame, hey? But yeah, other than that, the vlog should be out either tonight or first thing tomorrow morning. And hope you enjoy the rest of your weekend. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you all soon.